Hare Krishna. Today I would like to share with you a wonderful story from the Srimad Bhagavatam. It is a story about Krishna swallowing the forest fire. Once what happens, Krishna and the cowherd boys take their cows to the forest, and it so happens they are so caught up in playing and everything, the cows slowly search for fresh, tender grass, and they enter deeper and deeper into the forest. Only later do the boys and Krishna realize that the cows are not here anymore. So the boys tend to get so worried because for them they are cowherds, so the cows are their whole life. So they had to go and find them. They got very agitated and they complained to Krishna that they cannot find the cows, and they follow the tracks of the cows. They see where the grass is just been bitten, and they follow the hoof prints of the cows, and they also enter the forest deeper and deeper into the forest. And then finally Krishna and Balram, they cannot see the boys nor can they see the cows, but they can hear the cows crying out with great agitation because they get enveloped by a forest fire that starts surrounding them. So the cows are in great distress and they start crying, and hearing them the boys get very, very worried, and they're in such distress that they start crying out to Krishna to come and help them. So Krishna and Balram actually follow the boys, and just by their mere looking at the boys, Krishna's gaze on the boys gives them so much comfort. But the forest fire is going on, increasing. It goes and reaches the skies. It looks like it's going to swallow everything that is there. At that moment, Krishna tells the boys to simply close their eyes. When the boys close their eyes, Krishna opens his sweet little mouth and just devours the whole forest fire. By the time he tells the boys to open their eyes, they're outside the forest. That forest is called actually Manjatavi. They're outside Manjatavi and they're under a very beautiful, a banyan tree called, it's called Bandiravat. So they're under that tree and they're all very happy, and the cows are back with them. So in this story we see that Krishna, just with his mere gaze, was able to give so much comfort to the boys who were seeing the forest fire surround all of them. The cows were very, very agitated, and in 1 second, if Krishna's will is there, the whole thing subsides. Krishna, who is the origin of all the fire, can easily swallow the fire. It is not a big miracle for him. But he didn't want to embarrass his friends and show him that he is able to swallow the fire. He just wanted them to consider him to be an ordinary boy like them. So he just asked them to close the eyes, and then Krishna was able to solve the whole issue. Just like that, we are all enveloped by the forest fire of material life. There are so many problems that suddenly come up, and some problems look almost impossible for us to solve. But if Krishna's grace is with us, there is nothing that we will not be able to cross over. This is Krishna's mercy on his devotees. Actually, there's another time that Krishna does a similar thing. It is after killing, after subduing Kaliya, the snake. Once he banishes Kaliya from Vrindavan, Krishna and all the Vrajavasis, the people of Vrindavan, they spend their night, next to the Yamuna river. And at that time also there is a forest fire that suddenly starts. And at that time also Krishna is easily able to, overcome this fire. So we see that at sometimes Krishna keeps their eyes open and subdues the fire in front of their eyes. Sometimes Krishna asks them to close their eyes and does the same thing. So there are so many instances in which Krishna is actually protecting us in our life. We may not be able to see it sometimes. Krishna is overcoming so many problems without our knowledge of them even existing, and sometimes there are huge problems in front of our eyes, and when we take shelter of Krishna completely, he easily is able to help us to overcome the problem. Krishna gives such reassurances in Bhagavad Gita. In one place he says, Mat chittaha sarva durgani mat prasadat tarishyati. that means he says, by just thinking of me, you will overcome all the obstacles of life. And in another place he says, Kaunteya pratijanihi name bhakta pranashyati. So he tells Arjuna, you can go and announce everywhere, proclaim everywhere that my devotee is never vanquished. So Krishna is such a loving Lord. He is, very, very anxious to protect his devotees. And this is what we can learn from this story. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.